Greetings, dear friends, and welcome to Better Than Yesterday. Why should delete your social media? This is probably a YouTube title that you've seen popping up on your recommended quite a lot recently, and maybe it's a conversation that you are seeing being had a lot more often. And this is because a lot of people are starting to wake up to some of the benefits that you can bring into your life simply by deleting social media. And if you find yourself here today watching or listening to this episode, maybe it's because you are one of two people. Maybe you've already deleted social media and you want to find a reason to justify your recent decision. Or perhaps you are already considering deleting social media and you may have already come to some of the conclusions that we're going to be speaking about today. But before we hop into why you should do this and how it can be beneficial, I want to define which social media we are talking about here. Mainly including Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, now known as X. These are the kind of social media that we are discussing, just to define it. But the first reason why you should consider deleting social media is because you simply don't need it. A lot of the times we think that social media is such an integrated part of our life that we need it. It's formed such a big part of our reputation that if it were to go away, then our lives would not be the same. People wouldn't know, you wouldn't know what's happening in other people's lives, they wouldn't know what's happening in your lives, and everything would fall apart. But what you realize quite quickly when you've deleted social media, to give you a bit of a background, I deleted social media this year in February when I went to Namibia to visit my good friend Daniel. And when I was there, I wanted to sort of reset my mindset. And so I deleted social media when I was there. And since then, I've only re-downloaded it to post a couple of things actually for Better Than Yesterday, which you are watching right now. And deleting social media has had many good effects, but what I realized is that you simply don't need social media. You may have put a lot of time in the past into building your social media up and building this whole persona online of high quality images and so on, and you might be quite proud of what you built there. And you might think that by deleting it, you're going to lose out on so much, but what you'll very soon realize is that you really don't need social media. If you're living in the real world, that is more than enough, and social media is simply something that you add on top that can bring a lot of negatives. And deleting it will actually almost feel like you're just going back to normal. You'll realize that I had this weird thing in my life the whole time that was sucking up all my time. But as soon as you delete it, you realize that you never needed it. The second reason is that your attention span will increase and improve. And this is one of the most crucial things, and I always talk about this because young people today, and I don't want to criticize people my age because I'm young too, and I get it that social media is something that is very addictive and it's easy to spend time scrolling, but what that does is it absolutely ruins your attention span, and it means that you don't have the ability to have conversations with people without pulling out your phone because a conversation isn't exciting enough for you, or maybe even just spending quality time with someone isn't exciting enough for you. You need more dopamine, so you end up pulling out your phone, you end up fidgeting, you end up looking around, and you might think, oh, that maybe that's just because I have ADHD, but that is likely not the case. It's actually because your attention span is so short. Because of the lifestyle that you lead, you don't take in long form content. We end up taking in such short form content that anything that requires a bit more concentration and focus we simply can't do. That's why most young people struggle to pick up a book and read it for more than 2 minutes. Another reason is that you will start to feel more present in the moment. So a result of having a longer attention span is that you are able to focus and be more present in the moment. And this will not only improve your life, but it'll make you more attractive and more likable by other people when you are someone who is present. It's quite a unique characteristic these days to find someone who is extremely present. And if you meet someone who's extremely present, you will be instantly drawn to them. So not only will it help you to actually take in and open your eyes and see what is right in front of you, but other people will be able to feel that about you and will be instantly drawn to you. Another one of the most important things that happens when you delete social media is that you will stop comparing yourself to other people. So I remember not too long ago when I was actively on social media. Occasionally I'll open it these days, but very, very occasionally. It's something that I try and do as little as possible, and these days it's no longer a part of my daily routine. And what I've noticed is that I've stopped comparing myself to others, but when I was on social media, I was constantly comparing myself to others. You are following influencers, but not only influencers, maybe people in your area, people with mutual friends, maybe they are your friends, friends of a friends, whatever it may be. You're seeing other people who are maybe in the same phase of life as you, who are doing infinitely better than you. They may have more money, more assets, whatever it is, but you're seeing their life and you're comparing it to your life and you're saying mine is simply not good enough. And that is just unhealthy because, I mean, think about it even on your Instagram or your social media in general. You only put out the best of your life. So you're not actually seeing the pretty difficult and damning details in that person's life because they're only putting out maybe the good times that they had and maybe them standing in front of a fancy car, but it's not actually theirs. A lot of times you don't know the details on social media, but you're simply seeing this image that someone wants to put out for you to believe. And by seeing that image, you're not actually getting the full picture. So I also want to say that, and finally, to wrap it up, deleting social media will allow you to focus on what's happening in the real world, rather than focusing on the fake image that is put out there on social media. You will find that whenever you go out with your friends and you see something really cool, maybe you are out at the beach and you see a really pretty sunset, and you feel that need to post it on social media so that everyone else can see it and approve of what you're doing. You don't need to be doing that. That is simply something that you don't need to be doing. You may feel the need because that's what everyone else does and that's what you've been doing for so long on social media. But simply enjoy that sunset. Be there and present in the moment. Focus and allow yourself to live in the real world. Not everyone else needs to know or see what is happening in your life for it to be real. You were there, you experienced it, and that's what made it real. So start living in the real world and your life will become a lot more colorful. And that is all. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Better Than Yesterday. If you did enjoy it, please consider leaving a like or subscribing to BTY because we're going to be putting out a lot more content like this, having fruitful discussions together. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I hope that this has opened your mind to considering leaving social media out of your life. Much love from Better Than Yesterday.